Good morning, everyone. How's it going? Welcome to the first live stream of the new channel. I'm Sri Lankan Sammi, retire in Southeast Asia with me. Let's just get everything working here. Let's make sure everything sounds and looks good. Yeah, it does. It does. I love this new setup I have. I want to thank you for joining me today. Let me know if the quality is okay, the video quality, the audio quality, the background music. Just make sure everything is okay for you guys. And welcome to the show. I'm Sri Lankan Sammi. I am a retired, semi-retired, Canadian Sri Lankan citizen. I'm living in Sri Lanka, and I am in the midst of planning my retirement. So I'm hoping that you guys will join me in this adventure. And I switched over to this new channel so that I can reset the algorithm. And the first video went live on Friday, Sri Lankan time, which was Thursday night in North America. So this live stream is targeting my North American brothers and sisters. So please click the link down below, join the channel, subscribe if you like the content, okay? Because I want to get the channel monetized. And to do that, I need your help. I need you to watch a video, comment, like, share, subscribe. The most important thing though is to comment. If you comment, that shows that shows the algorithm that you like what I'm doing, and then it'll put it in front of other people just like you. So that is what I need, and that is what I'm asking for your help. So if you can do that for me, big ups, big props to you guys for helping me out with that. Let's take a look at what's going on. So the new video went up and it's getting some good traction, much better than what my old videos used to get. And that is a factor of the algorithm. It's just plain and simple. I'm getting twice as many views, and I'm hoping that that'll translate into subscribers. The views per minute, the hours watched is good. So I'm happy right now. Not happy that I'm waking up this early in the morning on a Sunday morning, but I'm happy to be here. So let's talk about why I moved the channel and like a deep introduction into me. So obviously, if you watch the first video, you know about me. If you haven't watched the new video, please click the channel, go back and watch the first video. It does a lot of explaining, okay? I'm gonna get into it right now, but watch the video, it helps the channel. For August, I'm gonna be doing videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a live stream on Wednesday and Sunday. In September, I think I'm gonna do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday videos, and Wednesday, Sunday live streams. Saturday, I'll take the day off. I found that not a lot of people watch videos on Saturdays because they're doing their lives. This live stream is Saturday night in North America and Sunday afternoon in Oceania, Australia and New Zealand, and early morning in Europe. So I'm trying to get to different audiences. So Wednesdays, I'm going to do the live stream in the evening, which will be evening in Oceania, early morning in North America, and evening in Europe. So I'll be catering to my European audiences. The Wednesday live stream is more of a catch up of what we did in the week, what I did in the week, what's coming up in the vlog. This weekend, the weekend is going to be a topic, but since it's the first one, it's going to be a little more general today. I haven't really got anything specific to talk about, but more about focusing on the channel, get you guys to know who I am. So let's just jump into it. So the channel is going to focus directly more on retirement. I'll still have like my daily life, going out, having a coffee, going to restaurants, doing whatever. I mean, next month I'm going to Cebu for 6 months. So you'll be riding along for that. That's going to be an adventure, especially since Lady Sarah's coming. I'm so excited. I can't wait. 45 days. It's just, I'm freaking out. Can't wait. I'm going to be focusing on how we as a community can get to our goal of retirement. What do we have to do? How do we get there? And what kinds of things should we be looking out for? Okay. So if you guys are interested to support the channel, please click the link down below or scan the QR code, buy me a coconut. That will really help support the channel. I'm not monetized yet on this channel. You can always go look at the old videos on the old channel, but I'm more interested in you supporting this channel. Don't worry too much about the old channel. I'm not going to be working on that anymore. I'm not going to take down any videos. I'm not going to delete anything. I'm just going to let it wind down. I'm not going to post there anymore. I'm going to focus 100% on this channel. And probably by mid-October, I'm going to think about going full-time YouTube, like focusing. I've been working very hard in the background, working with some tools, working with some AI tools, working with a company that I hired to start the channel off properly. So SEO, videos, improving the audio, trying to make sure the editing is good, but focus more on the quality of the content. The content is important. You guys won't watch a video if it's boring. So I'm going to try to do my best. So I need your help in providing some guidance as to what it is that you need. I'm gonna try to do, because I don't script. I don't like scripting, because when I try to script it, I screw up, which is evident from my first couple of shorts on this channel. I tried to script them and they were just god awful. So I just winged it, which is what I'm best at doing, just speaking naturally to you guys. That's what I like to do. No script, just a topic, and let's just talk like we're friends. And that's what I hope to do. Yeah, so just a quick introduction for those of you who are new to the channel. I'm a Canadian Sri Lankan citizen. I'm 56 years old. I'm divorced 20 years ago. I have no kids. I'm single. I'm debt-free, and I am well on my way to financial freedom. I'm technically financially free right now. I could retire today, but I wouldn't be able to travel. Sustenance living in Sri Lanka is not my goal. I want to be able to travel and live in 2 or 3 different countries a year, being Southeast Asia. So Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Sri Lanka. I have 2 senior parents and a younger brother in Canada. I have 2 senior parents here. They're well taken care of, so I don't have to worry about that. So my plan for the next 5 to 10 years, for the next 2 years, is to continue working. I work online, working in South Korea. So I earn money in South Korea and I import it into Sri Lanka. I repatriate it to Sri Lanka. And I buy Sri Lankan rupees or US dollars and invest. So I have another 2 years till my pension comes in from Canada. So that pension, plus my investments, plus hopefully a little bit of funding from YouTube advertising. What I'm hoping to do is take something that is fun for me, which is this. Doing this is fun. It started out as a hobby. It started out as a business. Then it became a hobby, and now I love doing this. And this is part and parcel of my retirement plan, is because you need to have something to do to keep your mental fitness. Otherwise, retirement gets boring. You can only sit on the beach and drink a coconut for a month before it gets boring. So I'm going to also continue working. I don't think I'm going to stop working because that's free money. I can be on a beach and do it, and it's not that big of a deal. And if I reduce my work days to like 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, then every other day I can just, take work one day off, work one day off. And I'm not talking my work day is not 8 hours. My work day is 2-3 hours. That's it. Like today is 3 hours. Yesterday was 2 hours. Friday, a couple hours. I work like 20 hours a week. It's not a lot. I make good money doing it. There's no travel. There's no car or transit costs or having to buy clothes for that, or shoes, or having to buy a coffee on the way to work or something like that. Not having to get up an hour early and, shower and change and all of those things that you have to buy and keep that are not part of your, cost. So, when I work an hour, probably 95% of it is pure profit, other than my electricity and internet. So I do well. And then I import that money into Sri Lanka. So here's the thing. A lot of people I was watching this one video vlogger who I really like, Joe Go Wonder. He's retired in Dumaguete, Philippines. And he just started his channel about 4 months ago. And this is what inspired me to change, or what inspired me to research the change. And then I hired a company to do an audit of my channel. And they reinforced what I already knew, is that I pivoted too many times on my old channel. And it screwed up the algorithm. I had 7,000, at one point I had 5,000 subscribers, and a lot of them were not quality subscribers, which was screwing up the algorithm. And I bought a marketing campaign, which did well, but it didn't turn into returning subscribers. I got 2,000 new subscribers, but I didn't get any new views. So it didn't help the channel. So they were saying to me, stop spending money on marketing. You need to go back to your roots. You need to go back to the beginning and get quality subscribers. You need to get those people, those 100 people who are interested in watching your videos every single time. You need to get those people who are going to watch your video from beginning to end. I'm talking to you, Darren. I'm talking to you, Terry. I'm talking to everybody who comments. You guys absolutely love seeing your comments. Absolutely love it. I need a coffee. It's only, 6 a.m. here in Sri Lanka. So it's too early to go downstairs and start turning on equipment. People are going to wake up everybody in the house. So, I just lost my train of thought here. So I watched Joe Go Wonder, and he's really good. He is the one who's like, if he can do it, I should be able to do it with my content, because I know I have good quality content. You guys have told me that you're interested in what I have to say. I mean, I may not always be right. Well, I'm not always right. I'm absolutely not always right. But what this adventure is about seeing me attempt. I mean, this is a Truman Show. That's basically what this is. And if I can offer up some help to someone, just one person, then I've accomplished something, because I don't have kids and I don't have anyone to take care of. And if I can help you guys accomplish your dreams or inspire you, then why not? I offer life coaching, and I've actually sold life coaching to a few people. And I think 80% of them have come back for a second hour. And I'm just like, wow, people actually appreciate what I have to say. It's inspiring. And I don't tell them what to do. I just say, listen, this is, I give them a fresh set of eyes for the plans that they have, based on my personal experiences. I'm dual citizen, Canada and Sri Lanka. I have permanent residence in Thailand and Korea. I'm gonna get my long visa or permanent residence in Philippines. I'm going to see. That's why I'm going for so long, to explore that opportunity, to research it and see, get your boots on the ground type of thing. So Joe, his channel just exploded, and he doesn't do SEO. He doesn't do anything. He's just a natural guy talking, and he hit a key demographic. So I'm hoping that happens here. And if I can earn a little bit, a couple $100 a month from this channel, that will supplement my pension. And then I can, instead of flying coach, I can fly business class. But what I want is, enough views to get ad revenue. I want enough views to get sponsors, and so that I can have paid promotions for things that I use every day. I use a VPN. I use eSIM. I use online tools to search for hotels, tours, flights. I use AI tools. I use electronics. I use eSIMs. I use health insurance. All of these things I do every day, which I recommend that you do as well when you travel or when you want to retire. We forget about retirement, the little tiny things. For example, when you go on vacation, you don't think about the dentist, but that's a cost you have to factor in when you're retired. You don't think about having to go find that little part for your fridge when it broke down. Where are you going to find that? Or I'm just, the little part in the shower that broke that you have to replace, or getting crazy glue because you have to fix something in the house, or getting a little tool kit. Where do you buy this? When you're on vacation, you don't think about those things because you're on vacation. You don't need it. But when you live somewhere, you got to think about those intangible costs that pop up. Don't put it under miscellaneous. You have to factor in everything. So that's what I'm hoping that during my adventure over the next couple of years, that we're going to be able to explore together, right? So anyway, going back to Joe in Dumaguete, Philippines, he's got a great channel. He talks about retirement. He talks about his adventure, and it really just re-inspired me to focus on the one thing that I am good at, is talking to you about what I'm doing, right? I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to show you what I have done so far in the last 3 years to 5 years. So since the pandemic started is when I changed my life. I'm not going to talk about my previous life because that's all done with, and well, it was an exciting life. You know, my dad's a diplomat, so I was born in China. I grew up in Italy. I've moved to Canada when I was 6. Then at 38, I moved to Korea, and then 3 years ago, I moved to Sri Lanka. So I've got 2 passports, 2 permanent residences. I've lived in 10 countries, visited 100. I've spoken 9 languages. I have bank accounts in 4 countries. I have investments in 2. So I have options. And these options is what I want to talk to you about, on how I take advantage of, and maybe you could, or maybe you could figure out how to. Because we all follow, what the government tells us to do. Put your money here, put your money there, do this, do that. But it's all in their best interest. It's not yours. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is, don't wait to take your pension, your government pension. They say, oh, if you wait till 65, you'll get this much more per month. Or if you wait till 70, you'll get this much more per month. Do the math. Let's pretend you live till 8. Let's pretend you live till 90. Calculate how much money over between 70 and 90 versus 60 and 90. How much money you'll have at the end of that extra 10 years of money. Doesn't make a difference. It makes like a negligible difference over the course of time. Right? Now, worst case scenario, you only live to 75. Take the money as soon as they offer it to you. Whichever country you're in, me, it's 60. I can take my money at 60. I get a penalty. I don't care. I want that money right away, because who knows what's going to happen. And here's the beautiful thing. You take that money and you invest it, and you get it making money for you. Then you don't lose out. The other thing I've done is that I earn money in Korean won. I earn quite a high salary. And then what I do is I have 2 bank accounts in Korea. I have a Korean won account, obviously. I have a US dollar account. And because I've been dealing with my bank for so long, I'm a VIP customer. They give me a preferential exchange rate when I do my exchange online. So in my bank account, I just transfer money from my Korean won account to my US dollar account. I get a 50% discount on the spread. So if the exchange between buy and sell is 2 cents, I only pay 1. So that's a huge thing, because that's where the banks make their money, and that's where all the alternative businesses make their money, like Wise and Western Union and Money Transfer and whatever all these other companies are. They give you a discount on the spread. Now, the transfer fees are usually the same. Some companies charge you a transfer fee based on the amount. Swift, which is what the banks use, is a set fee. It's $5 or $10 to send and receive. The sending bank charges a fee, and the receiving bank charges a fee. Now, where these other companies, these alternative to bank companies, make their money is on the exchange. Because, for example, if you have Korean won and you want it to come to your Sri Lankan account, there's two exchanges because SWIFT is done in US dollars. When it leaves the country as US dollars. When it lands as US dollars and then converted. So there's two conversions that you have no control over. But if you are transferring US dollars and it lands in my US dollar account in Sri Lanka, there's no exchange. You control the exchange, right? Now I get a preferred rate in Sri Lanka as well because I'm exchanging US dollars into Sri Lankan rupees, which is what they want. They want that US currency. So I get a preferential rate here as well. So what I'm doing when I go on vacation is I have a debit card attached to my US dollar account in Korea. So when I go to, I'm going to bring some cash over. I have some cash here that I'm going to exchange into US dollar. Well, I have US dollars sitting in my account, which I'm going to withdraw here in Sri Lanka as cash because I'm going to need some initial cash when I land in my first few days. I don't want to go running around looking for a bank to do it. So I'm just going to take the cash I need for the first week because Lady Sarah arrives the next day after I land. And it's a vacation. So I can take care of my other stuff after she leaves. So I'm going to use my US dollar account debit card at ATMs. And I found an ATM, HSBC. Why is there's a fly in my room? HSBC in Cebu, I found offers $700 maximum withdrawal US dollars and no fee. I'm going to double check it. It's not that big of a deal if I only can take out $400 or $200 or whatever. And then I have to pay a fee of like a couple of dollars. That's not a big deal. Or, I can open up a bank account in the Philippines as a tourist and then just transfer money to my bank account. I don't need a debit card from them. I'll just go to the bank every month and take out the cash I need for the month. Philippines is a cash society, but other than just like paying my rent, which includes all my utilities, it's just buying food. Everything else, I can just transfer bank to bank. Not that big of a deal. Anyway, so I did a calculation and I use ChatGPT for this. I have a paid license with ChatGPT because let me tell you, I have never, well, first of all, I cross-reference everything. And I have set up ChatGPT to be very, very specific. And I especially like the new version because it thinks so much. It thinks a lot, deeply. It takes its time. And before that, I asked it to take its time to think. But anyway, it did the calculations, taking into account my 50% discount. And it said, you know what? It's negligible, the difference between Wise, Western Union, and your banking transfer when you transfer US dollars to US dollars. Okay? So I'm lucky when I use my bank. And there's some banks, like I'm not American, so there are some banks in the US, I've heard it's Charles Schwab, that refunds you the ATM fees when you withdraw cash from their account. So for my American friends, check that out. Find out, go to your bank and sit down with a bank person and say, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going, and this is how I'm spending my money. What accounts should I set up here to manage my money over there? They will tell you. And that's what I did in Korea. Before I left, I said, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing. And they set up those accounts for me. Okay. They set up the accounts for me. Now, they don't have a free ATM card, but they set up the accounts with the cheapest fees and the best for what I needed. That's what you got to figure out. We don't think about these things when we travel. So my plan for the next 2 years is to continue living in Sri Lanka while traveling, off and on. Continue working, sacrificing until I hit 60. At 60, I have investments here in Sri Lanka. I have stocks, I have gold, and I have term deposits. First of all, my stocks are doing 72% profit. I cannot believe how great they're doing because I bought in the dip. Even if there's a correction, there's never going to be a correction that big. Okay. The correction would be maybe 30%. Big deal. Okay. The companies that I invested in have core fundamentals and paying dividends. So I'm making money. Just every day I set this I have this target for at December of my 60th birthday. And the number gets smaller and smaller and smaller because I do a negative, right? So I need to reach X amount of dollars. How much do I have left to go? And that number is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. I like seeing that. When it hits zero, I'm like, wow. And every day that number becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. I love it. And I do it on an Excel spreadsheet. Again, ChatGPT helped me with that. I said, I want to see visually, scrape from the internet, the price of gold, scrape from the internet, my stocks, and punch it up onto the screen, my overall portfolio, like what is my assets valued at? How much do I have in the bank, et cetera, et cetera. It's just, I know everything going back 10 years. I have an Excel spreadsheet going back 10 years. And it shows me how much I spend every day, every month, every year. So I know what my expenses are. So I have that calculated, not in my head, on paper. So I know, but I've memorized it because it's so core to me that this is how much I need per month to live. Some months are more, some months are less, and I've amortized that over the course of a year. So what I'm going to do is at age 60, I'm going to liquidate everything. I'm going to take all the cash and I'm going to put it into a 5-year term deposit. Okay. Now this 5-year term deposit will be in Sri Lanka, obviously. And it'll pay me out once a year for 5 years. Now, the reason I'm going to do 5 years is because it's the highest interest rate. And interest rates aren't going up anytime soon. They're going down. So I'm going to lock it in for 5 years and get paid out once a year. Now, even smarter thing is I'm going to take that once a year money and reinvest it into like 6 month, 3 month, 4 month, 1 month terms. So that money is making money while I'm waiting to use it, right? And in an emergency comes up, always have that 3-month emergency fund of cash, right? So I'm figuring out using ChatGPT how to squeeze every dollar out of my investments. Every single penny, because over the course of the next 15 years, that's my money. And I want it to grow. So not only am I sorry, I'm just getting distracted. Downloading Big Brother US. I love that show. Big Brother is hilarious to watching these people. Anyway, let me just clear all of that. I'm going to get to the people on the chat. Just give me 1 second. I want to finish this talk. Is that I have this number of how much I need per month, but I also added 10%. That 10% is going to go back into investments so that my capital will grow. Most people think that you need to pull from your capital and live off your capital, but no. I'm going to get my capital to grow so that the passive income from the capital grows to take care of me in my future life. Because, when I become 70, 80, 90, I'm going to need to pay for retirement home, right? I'll come back to Sri Lanka and I'll end up being in Sri Lanka. But I'm going to need to have to pay for that. So probably towards the end, whether I use the investment income or the capital, because by then it'll be a heck of a lot more. I mean, we're talking 30 years from now. That'll be a heck of a lot more money. I can start tapping into the capital to buy the things I want, So I want to say hello to Beth. Thank you for joining. Truly appreciate it, Beth. You're one of my newer subscribers, and I really, really appreciate you taking the time to join the channel. And the demographics are just, I love it. Okay. Maybe if you're interested, please, if you could just let us know where you're from and like your age range, just so we can talk as a community. And of course, our good friend Terry, brother, so happy to see you. Always glad. I tapped into the mustard that you got me last time. Just really finally tapped into that because you brought me too much. You brought me too much last time, brother. I truly appreciate that. I was mentioning last year that I miss the yellow mustard from North America. So Terry brought over some for me. Was it you, Terry? My memories, geez, I really need to start writing these things down, because see, the thing is on YouTube, when you guys comment, it doesn't show up the same as it does in the chat. It shows your username, not your login name. So sometimes I get confused as to who it is that I'm talking to. But yeah, I'm just glad to have you all here. I'm glad that you find my ramblings interesting. And what is it that you want to know? Ask me any questions. It's really important to me is that I'm here to talk about things that you're interested in. All right. So let me wrap up by saying, I am going to take that income and use it in my expenses. So how am I going to figure out my expenses? Well, here's how it's going to work. It's going to be like this. Okay, I remember now, Terry. Yes. Who got me the mustard then? Maybe it was, I'm trying to remember now. I got to go back and look. I did. Hey guys, sorry about that. So we had a little power outage here, and my UPS didn't kick in right away. So let's just look up live stream. Yes. All right, so the live stream is working. Yeah, so the live stream went dead, and now we're back. It took about a minute or two. Anyway, let's see here. Yeah, Terry, you got me coffee and chocolates. I remember that. Yeah. Sorry, brother. I'm back. Beth is, wow. Beth, congratulations. 73. That's wonderful. Roswell, New Mexico. That is crazy. I've never been to that side of the United States. Let me tell you, Panama is a good choice. When I was living in North America, if you have family in North America, staying in that side of the world is probably your best bet from a cost perspective and culture, because at our age, trying to integrate into a new culture, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general, it's sometimes a little difficult. So Panama, Belize, look at Belize, okay? Belize is also an option, okay? Because they offer a great retirement package. Like, you can import your goods, your furniture, your money tax-free. This is 20 years ago when I was looking at Belize when I was younger. But before I left Canada in 2007. So I was looking for places to retire. Okay. Let's just give me a second here. I gotta reset everything. Sorry about that. What happens is that when we switch from main power, like power from outside, and we switch over to solar power, there's a switch. And what's supposed to happen is that my UPS is supposed to kick in. Now I got to check, but it didn't kick in. It did, but something happened, and it didn't maintain the power connection for the modem and the router. This has never happened before, so I've got to get down in there and take a look and see what's going on, because I haven't changed anything. So I got to see why this is happening, because this has now been happening since they did a little bit of a tweak on the solar power system. We have a solar power system here at the house, so we run on solar power for most of the day. But whenever it switches back and forth, sometimes, not every time, but sometimes, like it's happened 2 or 3 times that I'm aware of. I was online when it happened, so it just happened. I got to figure out what it is. Get these guys over here to fix it. But Beth, let me tell you something. Vietnam is definitely a place where you can really enjoy yourself. The time I had in Vietnam last year was my first time, was spectacular. And I have been doing a crap ton of research on Vietnam, retiring in Vietnam. And the beautiful thing about Vietnam is you have East and West Coast. where you can avoid the monsoon seasons by moving back and forth. And you can live in a modern condo overlooking the beach in Da Nang or Nha Trang, Natrang, Nha Trang, very cheaply. Like we're talking, I can't remember the numbers right now, but you can get a place there for like a beautiful studio condo in a modern building, $300 to $500 a month, depending on how close to the ocean it is, what side of the city it's on, and the food is easy. This is very vegetarian based, whereas, Thailand and Philippines is more, well, Thailand definitely is more spice based. Philippines, I can't remember because I cooked last time I was in Philippines. There we go, guys. We're back. Sorry, so sorry about this. I don't know why this is happening. So, yeah, Beth, what Terry's saying here is, I'm really sorry about this technical problem we're having. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. So, I haven't done research into North American, Western Hemisphere retirement plans. So I can't comment as to what is going on today. I can only comment on Southeast Asia, right? So Panama and Paraguay, I'm hearing from viewers and a few snippets here and there about what's going on. So that may be something to look into. Just checking the live stream, making sure everything's okay. Yeah. So what I'm thinking is that, this is where this channel is going to come into play, and it's going to be what have we learned? What information can we share with each other about um, what's going on out there. We just fix one thing here. Let's hope that the power doesn't flick again, because this is getting annoying. Thanks, Terry. Truly, again, brother, truly appreciate your support. It's always great. Beth, to comment, I'm gonna say, find the place, and not just to you, to everyone. Find the place that fits your lifestyle. And I am all one for maximizing the dollar value of my spend, which is why I travel for so long. If I'm going to travel and I have to spend money on an airplane ticket, I'm going to get the value out of that airplane ticket. I'm not going to travel just for 3 days. And even a week-long travel but for 6 months, I can amortize that flight over 6 months. That's how my brain works, right? Yes, I'm spending more when I go on vacation or when I travel, but if you're traveling for retirement, then it's not travel, it's not vacation, it's retirement. And that flight is an amortization factor into your yearly cost. That's why I fly business class, because I can justify the expense and I can carry more luggage. And it's a reward. You need to treat yourself, okay? You need to treat yourself. So Beth, I'm gonna say this to you is like, figure out what your yearly expenses are going to be, because again, I don't know your situation. Do you need to fly back to New Mexico? Do you need to visit family and friends? Is that important to you? If so, then Vietnam probably wouldn't be the best option, being that it's so far away and that the flights are not direct. You would have to fly from Vietnam, from wherever you are, to Hanoi, from Hanoi then to Singapore, and then from Singapore or Hong Kong to the US. And you'd have to probably land in Las Vegas or LA and then another flight. So we're talking a pretty decent amount of travel. From Panama, you just fly from wherever you are to Panama City. From Panama City, direct flight to LA. Maybe 3 hours, 4 hours at the most, I would say. I'm not sure. You would know better than me. But Vietnam would be, 26, 30 hours. That's hard on the body at any age, and also the pocketbook. It's not easy. So factor in when you're thinking about retirement and where to retire, it's really important to factor in where is your home base going to be. My home base will be Sri Lanka, but I have two plans. I have near term and long term. Near term is in 3 years. Not now. 3 years is already set. I have a plan. The plan for the next 3 years is continue working, travel to explore destinations for potential future home bases. I've done Thailand, I've done Vietnam, and I'm going to do it again. Now I'm doing Philippines for the second time. I did Subic Bay 2 years ago, didn't like it. Now I'm doing Cebu, which I've heard is much better. So I'm traveling to these places to figure out which one is a good place to retire at. Which one would be a positive place? Terry, you are hilarious. Okay. I should call Microsoft. Yeah, you know, basically what happens is that let's see what the heck is going on. The power switches from the mains to the solar power. Yeah. Now the UPS is supposed to bridge that, but for some strange reason, the UPS is not doing that. So after this live stream today, I'm gonna check that out because this is not supposed to be happening. That's like 3 times now this has happened. And if I was working, that would really be a pain in the butt. So I'm back, Beth. I'm sorry. Thank you again. So if I do drop off, it's only going to be for like 1 minute. So I'll let you know when I'm ending the live stream. Trust me. We got another. I planned another 30 minutes for the live stream because I have a class after this and I need to get a coffee. So Beth, like as I was saying to you, figure out what it is that your lifestyle requires. Like, do you need to travel? And then figure out that cost. Are you willing to not travel as much if you like Vietnam? Maybe once every 2 years, maybe once every year. Darren, good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining. Glad to see you. Hope all is well. Now, the other important thing to factor into your decision, Beth, is how much of a Western lifestyle do you really want to have? In Panama, you can have that. You can have your McDonald's, your Starbucks, your Costco, and all of that wonderful stuff. if that's what you need. In Vietnam, you can still get it, but not as readily available. Now, I haven't traveled Vietnam as much as I have traveled everywhere else. I was in a tourist town. There was McDonald's. Was there McDonald's? I don't remember because I didn't eat McDonald's. But what I'm saying is like Western style fast food or Western style food, for example, right? In Panama, you're going to get it because it's close to it's close to North America and the United States, and they can import that stuff. Vietnam, not so much. So distance from your Western creature comforts is something you need to think about, right? Like I miss a good steak and I miss scallops and I miss yellow mustard, the yellow, French's mustard. And I miss Heinz ketchup. It's available here in Sri Lanka. It's just ridiculously expensive because it's imported. And almost everything is imported from the Middle East because that's where a lot of the businesses here have relationships with. So when you retire, that's why I suggest that you take a trip on a vacation to get a feel for the place, not just videos on YouTube. Take a vacation, go for a week and see what it's like. Then if you like it, go for a trip to a different place within the same country. So for example, if you go to Da Nang, then go to Nha Trang the second time and stay there for a month. This is pissing me off now. Hey guys, I'm really, really sorry for these technical problems. That's like the fourth time this has happened now. And so the other technical thing is that our house is 3 phases. I'm in the 3rd phase. And Mom said it's not happening on her side of the house, it's happening on mine. So the tech she's gonna call the tech. It's only 7 o'clock in the morning here. She's gonna call the tech and see what's happening. Luckily, I only have one more class this afternoon. Well, this morning in an hour. Hopefully this won't happen anymore or figure something out. I don't know what's going on. And I don't have any classes the rest of the day. This has to be fixed because it's really, it shouldn't be happening because I got a UPS. So I gotta double check if my modem is plugged into my UPS. I'm 90% sure it is. But for some strange reason, something keeps dropping off and resetting. So Once I get done here with our live stream today, I'll get on there. Houston, we have a problem. Terry, you're hilarious. You're hilarious. I love it. So where was I? Yeah, figure out which places fits your lifestyle. And then if you really, really like Vietnam, then, you know, it's going to happen again. No, it didn't. I heard the beep and then I thought it might happen. If it happens one more time, I'm going to come back. Don't worry. But then we're probably going to end the stream. So let's just kind of wrap things up here today and talk about retiring is not a one-step idea. It is a multi-step, multi-plan thing you need to do. This is what I've learned. Okay, this is what I'm going to recommend, is that you test the waters before you pull the trigger. At getting older, you also got to think about your healthcare, your mobility. Are there going to be places that can cater to your medical and mobility, dietary needs? Obviously, in your home country, you feel the most comfortable. In a westernized country, yes, that's still possible. Vietnam is not a poor country. It's a very rich country, very rich, very modern. And lots of English. More English in Vietnam than there is in Japan, I found. But yeah, I love Vietnam. It's definitely on my list of places to continue traveling to. So my plan in the next 3 years is to continue visiting places to figure out where I want to live. And then at 60, pull the trigger and start my near-term plan, which is not getting a visa, but doing the tourist thing every 3 months, every 6 months, moving to a different place. Now, because Philippines has a 3-year tourist visa, that's going to probably be my home base. And I'll come back to Sri Lanka once in a while. So, you know, the only reason I'll leave the Philippines is to avoid the monsoon season, because just sitting around in the house for 3 months is not my idea of fun. And using ChatGPT, I figured out a route to avoid the worst of the monsoons. I'm never going to escape in Southeast Asia the weather, but to avoid the worst of it. Being on the western side of the land is always better. Living in Subic, we got hit by typhoons, but because we were so far north and so far to the west, it barely affected us. Only once did a typhoon come full force, but I wasn't there at that time. Korea gets hit with typhoons all the time, but because I lived in Seoul, we were so far north and so far west, by the time it came to Seoul, it was nothing. It was just a rainstorm, a heavy rainstorm. Luckily, Sri Lanka, it's Yeah, we're back. So guys, I gotta I'm gonna have to wrap this up today because this is getting ridiculous. Oh, this is not funny. Oh jeez. This is not funny. So we're going to wrap this up before this happens again. And I want to apologize for the technical problems, guys. For the first live stream, this shouldn't be happening. Obviously not my fault. You guys can you guys can chat to each other in the comments while I'm offline until I come back online. You can trash talk me, okay? Absolutely. Terry, you should get your money back, and I'll give you Larry Elson's number over at Google, and you can ask him for your money back, okay? Is it Google that owns YouTube? I have no idea. I think so. I think Google owns YouTube. Near term, I'm going to do the traveling for like avoiding the monsoons. And then between the ages of 60 and 70, I'm going to figure out which country is going to be the place that I'm going to settle down in. Or depending on my health at 70 or whatever, figure out one place to settle down in with a visa, a long-term visa, or just continue on with the tourist visa, or pick the Philippines, which is the easiest. 3-year visa, you have to leave and then come back. And the visa over 3 years is about $50 a month, US dollars a month. But you can get like longer tourist visas, like 6 months, but you have to go to Manila to do it. And it's going to happen again. No, I heard the beep. Oh, Jesus, pain in my butt. I hate it. I hate not being in control of things that I have spent money on fixing. So if it happens one more time, I still want to just wrap a few things up before we touch base on the final part of my life, depending on my health, depending on the cost, and depending on what I find. And it also depends on, maybe I might find someone to settle down with. That is something that I'm not stopping to think. Jeez, 80 years old. I can't even think about that. My mom and dad are in their 80s. Dad's going to be 89 years old next month. Mom's like 81-ish. I can't even think about that. My aunt, my mom's eldest sister, is 92. That's insane. It's an insane age. I just can't understand it. So the final stretch is going to be that I don't have enough information. I'm not even thinking about that part of my life yet. It's in the back of my mind and I have to think about it. But I don't have to start planning for it until this initial stage of my life is over. So within the next 3 years, I'll stop thinking about this stage and move to the next stage. And then when that stage appears, then I have to start planning for the next stage. So I'm only working on 2 stages, current and near term, which is 60 to 65, 70. That stage of my life. That stage of my life is pretty well set, where I'm going to be rotating every 3 to 6 months between 3 or 4 cities, where I'll pare it down. Maybe I'll do 4 or 5 cities a year, and then reduce it as I figure out. Yeah, well, that's right by your house. We've already talked about that. The problem with that one is that that's a retirement village, not a nursing home. So I would need, once I get older, I'm 90% sure I'm going to need medical care. So when you look at a retirement home, you need to look at your healthcare. That's a whole other topic. I've done a video about that. La Serena is a beautiful place. It's luxury. Oh my gosh, is it luxury? And once I get older, I'm not going to, getting into the water, it's not going to be important to me. Getting into the ocean. Yesterday, I went to Negumbo Beach, Camelot Hotel yesterday for the day. Could not get anywhere close to the ocean. It was so rough. The water was brown black because of the current, and the winds were insane. You couldn't even get near the water. It was so bad. I didn't even bother going. So, yeah. So I'm gonna wrap it up today by saying, first of all, thank you to everyone who joined today. Truly appreciate that. It was wonderful of you guys to join. I'd like to welcome Beth to the group. I truly appreciate you taking the time to listen and watch. If you have any specific questions, I really do want to help you out and offer any advice that I can on what I've done, and then help you navigate this huge decision. Terry, La Serena is one of the most expensive in Sri Lanka. It's up there. Obviously, much cheaper than any other place in Western countries. Everything in Sri Lanka is cheaper than Western countries. Okay, even hotels, even luxury hotels are cheaper than Western countries. But things marketed towards foreigners are not. Like, for example, real estate. Real estate is very expensive here compared to the West. Luxury real estate. Yes. Darren, yeah, it is cheaper. I don't know why, but actually, it depends on what you need. Their costs, I can't remember their costs. I think it was about, I'm not going to say, I can't remember the cost, but it was expensive. That's why we kind of backed off on it, because we were looking for Dad, and that's why we, instead of putting him in a place like that, we decided to get in-home care, because they didn't provide 24-hour nursing. You had to provide your own. So we said, why does he have to go there just to get nursing when he can just have it here and stay at home? Why do we have to get that extra expense? So that type of decision is personal, depending on your needs. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me today on the new channel. The new channel, for you guys who joined a little bit later, the new channel is doing well. I only have one video up, one real video. The others were just teaser trailers and stuff like that, so they don't really count because the algorithm doesn't push that out towards anyone really. But the first video got good traction. The data is still coming in. It takes a couple of days for the data to compile. By Monday or Tuesday, I should have a better feel as to what that video did. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 new videos coming out. And I recorded 3 new videos yesterday. which I will edit today, and they will go up next week. So stay tuned for those. And what I'm hoping to do by October, I'm hoping that I'm going to be monetized by October. With the amount of videos that I'm going to put up, with the amount of work I'm going to put into it, ChatGPT has said that I have the potential, based on the amount of videos I put up, the length of the videos that I put up, and the number of subscribers I could be getting, that I could hit the monetization by middle of October. So by middle to end of October, I'm going to start memberships. And the memberships will be for you guys who are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to the videos sooner. So like, I got to research this and see what it's like, getting videos out to you a week before everybody else, right? Things like that. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of things I want to do to benefit my strongest supporters. Yeah, it's ridiculous, the speculation here, and it's just it's crazy. That's why I'm not getting involved in that part of my investment plan. So I have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of rolling watched. So based on the projections from ChatGPT and my posting, that's why I'm going to post for the rest of this month 3 videos a week, 2 live streams like I've been doing. Well, I actually increasing to 3 videos. I was doing 2 videos. I'm going to do 3 videos a week. September, I'm going to do 4 videos a week plus 2 live streams. So 6 days a week content plus shorts. And then in October, I'm going to do daily, every day except maybe Saturday, maybe even Saturday, but every day in October. I'm going to have enough content to make that many videos. I'm going to have a lot of content, especially the first week, because I'm on vacation and I'm traveling every day. So every day is an adventure that I can vlog about. Sometimes maybe even 2 vlogs a day. So that stuff I'm going to get that out in a timely manner. And then in November, once the material runs out in November, December, then go back to like 3 or 4 times a week and have content, instead of like, maybe I won't do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe I'll just do it every 2 days. Like, power's going out. Nope. Oh, didn't happen. It clicked over and it did what it was supposed to do. The power clicked and the UPS caught it. Anyway, actually, it's not. My first YouTube channel was monetized very quickly. And I have seen people do it within 3 months. And here's the beautiful thing is that it's not work for me. This is not work. This is not effort. The time I spend editing the videos and putting everything together and, working the channel is just my free time between classes. I don't mind doing that. And that's the thing. It's like, for me, right? Like, Darren, you've got family, you've got things, you've got responsibilities. I don't. I have nothing to do, right? Other than exercise, eat, and sleep. I've got nothing to do. So doing this gives me some mental exercise, and it's fun. Like, again, I've said this a million times. I do this because I enjoy doing it. Okay. So I'm going to wrap it up there because I am tired. I need to coffee. I need to take a nap before my next class. I need to finish watching the Mr. Beast video I was watching just a moment ago. That guy, what a machine. Anyway, I want to thank everybody as usual. Guys, remember, learn to live life. Don't let life live you. Thank you, Beth, for joining the new community. Thank you, Darren, for joining. Thank you, Terry. Truly appreciate your love and support as always. It's inspiring to get me to, keep going. So we will see you all on the next one. Remember, please be good to each other. And don't forget, we are not strangers. We are just friends who haven't met yet. We'll see you all.